University of Pittsburgh. 13 Golden Girls, 240 band members under the direction of Jack Anderson. The Panthers along for the big parade today, and a good sounding band here as well.
A terrific band. You don't get to see them out often. I've seen them at the games.
Well, actually, this is the first time performing in Butler County, so it's the first time we've seen them. If you don't watch the Pitt Panther football games,
right,
you get a chance to see them right here today.
They are terrific. I have seen them many times. They're great.
Jeff White and Dave Alexander, drum majors for the big band. Gorgeous weather for the Bicentennial Parade, the year 2000. The only thing left to chance as organizers prepared for today's big parade. There was a lot of praying going on, Lisa, the last couple of days. A lot of prayers were said.
I'm sure. It seems like a lot of prayers were answered.
Big Butler Fair saluting the county's 200th year. Big Butler Fair, a big tradition here in Butler County for, I'm not sure how long it's been now, but...
Well, they're promising to go strong for another 200 years.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. It may be 100 years for them anyway.
Right.
Again, always a tradition in the summertime for the Big Butler Fair.
There's a 5-piece band on the float. That is a New Orleans Riverside jazz band. So a nice little change of pace.
There you go. Nice carousel as well. They are also asking you to schedule in your 2001 calendar the fair dates, June 29th through July 7th. June 29th through July 7th. In fact, folks, you may want to have a pad of paper and a pencil ready to jot down tidbits of information as the parade goes by.
Growing up here in Butler, of course, everybody went to the Big Butler Fair. I didn't think anything of it. But now, after living in Pittsburgh for many years, it's dawned on me how many people come from Allegheny County and surrounding counties to come to the Big Butler Fair.
A Western Pennsylvania tradition.
Sure.
Good sounding jazz band there.
Again, that was a 5-piece New Orleans-style jazz band on that float.
This is an old-style locomotive that just went by. Just missed. VFW Post 249 with float coordinator Leroy Rogers putting that little trolley together there, little train. And behind the train there, from Circus Town, USA, Pete Kafalis' group there and Elizabeth Kafalis, from the 1879 period of the American circus. All of the wood used in the wagons for Circus Town were taken from old buildings in Butler that existed around 1879. The undercarriages from local farm wagons and Pennsylvania Railroad baggage wagons. It was located, by the way, if you are trying to remember where it was, 6 miles east of Butler off Route 422. Circus Town, USA. There's one of the wagons there.
Some history there.
Oh, sure. In fact, Circus Town was the first circus theme park in the world. Located on over 150 acres of the Kafalis farm. They had over 40 buildings, 2 large barns, 500 domestic wild animals and birds. And there you see part of history traveling by. You're watching the Bicentennial Parade live right here on Armstrong Cable Services. Congratulations to the Armstrong staff, Judd Stewart, Tom Graham, and their list is a mile long. You'll see the list at the end of the parade. Please pay attention. Wonderful opportunity and service the cable company is providing to you to bring history, to bring the Bicentennial Parade to you. Excellent job. Nice job, folks. The Syria Mosque, oh, there's part of still the Kafalis Brothers Circus. From Circus Town. The Circus Town closed, by the way, if you're wondering, back in 1960. And look, keeping history alive for the last 40 years to bring it to you in the year 2000.
Very nice, very nice.
The Syria Mosque.
Probably the most colorful group that we've seen so far. Look at that.
Yes, ma'am. Syria Mosque traveling down the street here. as part of the celebration. They do a lot of traveling on their own, from community to community, talking the good works of the Syria Mosque, the great things that they do for each community in Western Pennsylvania. Wonderful. You see nothing but smiles as we look around.
A lot of smiles, a lot of people enjoying this beautiful morning.
Sure. Syria Temple, Legion of Honor, their Camel of Wheels coming up. I'm not sure where the Saxony Shrine Club is. They're coming up maybe next in order, but between the Syria Mosque and the Shrine Club.
There's people riding the Syria Temple wagon. Yeah.
There it is, right? Okay. There they go.
Oh,
Now my son
that's what I
Zachary,
want.
my son Zachary wants that job right there. When he gets to be a little older, he wants to be in a parade doing that right there.
Never underestimate the dreams of a child.
That's right. You know, as you look through the parade too and look at all of the floats and all of the activities that are going on, you have to think and wonder what it took to make that happen.
Unbelievable. And I'm quite sure I drove up from one direction today, but of course the floats were lined up down the other direction, and I can only imagine how far they were lined up.
Sure.
The floats
Amazing.
being its miles, I'm quite sure.
These little tricycles that they're riding here are very popular in every parade they go to. Kids love them.
They're great. They get to zip around. I could use one of those.
That's right. They have all these routines that they do. Yeah, you can see that guy doing a wheelie right there.
Oh my goodness.
Coming into the camera. Yeah, there he is.
Oh boy.
Holy mackerel. Nicely done. You can hear the crowd in the
He was
background.
picking up some speed
He
there
was.
too. I was
There
a
he
little
is right
nervous
there.
for him.
Holy mackerel. And let me just interject here, Zach, if you're still watching, you can't do that.
There are some limits.
Yes, there are. It's amazing.
Oh, they're just having fun. They are just having a great time.
There he goes
we
again.
go. Didn't his mother ever tell him never to copy release? Those things look like they pick up speed. I wonder how fast they
It
go.
looks like it.
I think my car goes much faster than that.
Looks like the Saxony Shrine Club is before
Here
us.
we go.
Bringing their own sense of history with them to Butler County.
Certainly like nothing we've heard so far this morning. This is great.
We're not quite sure, I might have lied to you. This still may be the Syria Mosque. I see a banner coming up, the director staff of the Syrian Temple, so we'll see as we get a little further along here.
I believe you're right, Scott. It seems like a very large group. Large group.
Glad to have them part of our Bicentennial Parade. All over Butler County, people saw banners, signs in store windows, on television, in the newspaper. Everybody is behind the Bicentennial Parade. A lot of cute little folks on the director's staff float there.
Again, this is still the folks from the Syria Mosque.
Apparently it is, yes,
Correct?
yes. You know, I think the weather couldn't have been more perfect today. It's not too hot, not cold by any stretch.
Just great. It is so nice.
A little breeze.
What a blessing, too, for all these people that traveled to get here
Sure,
and have
sure.
small kids to
That's
worry
right.
about.
They were alerting fans who are coming to the parade on areas that they should park, where they should be able to go for water, for food, where you should park. It was an organizational challenge for sure.
We have a float there with some of the children's favorites.
Right. And one of the favorites of all time, Mickey Mouse.
Oh boy, can't beat Mickey. Oh, we even have the newer ones. We have a Teletubby on there.
Oh my, from Mickey Mouse to the Teletubbies. There you go.
They all coexist peacefully now.
That's right. And that's good news.
Let's see who we have now.
Busy time of the year for the Saxony Shrine Club, Syria Mosque, as they go again from community to community, putting on their show, the Saxony Shrine Club here. These folks play in so many parades, they don't need to practice anymore. They're just that good.
They sound great. That's tough to play, too. The bagpipe, tough instrument.
Great sound.
Very nice. A lot of hours go into rehearsing for this.
Sure. And I suppose they'd have to change their routines just a bit depending on the parade route.
I would think so. This is particularly long, I'm sure.
It is a little on the longer side. This is great. Penn Elementary School.
Here we go.
Has a great idea here.
I hope your son's not watching this at this very moment. He's going to want to pick up that, too.
He may not
He may not see it right now,
tackle that.
huh?
No, you know, we're still ahead of the game here. Still part of the Syria Temple.
Oh, boy, okay.
A very long part of the parade. Syria Temple chanters. There they are there.
Wow.
And their little puppet buddies.
They do a lot of good for a lot of people.
And forgive us as we mischaracterize who those are on your screen. I wonder if that's Jeff Rapp there on the tall bike from Rapp's bike store.
That could be. There we go. Some clowns for the kids.
Right.
That bike is great.
It was. There we go. A couple of units. Not sure where. It's still part of the Syria Mosque. There you go.
Let's see what's coming up here.
The Hillbilly Degree.
There we go. This is the Hillbilly Degree. We'll find out a little bit more about them. They come complete with their own outhouse, which we may be needing along the route here today.
They are not stopping for anyone.
Little country,
Great
little
costumes.
bluegrass perhaps.
That's right. Interacting with the crowd as they go along too. I wonder if their level of play, everybody's level of play, is just increased as the parade goes along, as they just see more and more people.
You know, that could be the excitement has got to get to them. I know, it must be the mascot. Sure, the excitement of all these people watching the whole way up and down the parade here has got to be so thrilling for these people who put so much time and effort into this.
Syria Shrine Hillbilly Clan, they are.
They are clan number 53. There must be quite a few hillbilly clans around.
Apparently there are. It's amazing. Nothing but smiles along the parade route today.
There's everything to smile about today. And one shrine, looks like one Syria Shriner bringing up the rear there.
Coming up behind this group is the motorcycle unit. They are another popular unit. They have these choreographed routines, driving these Harley 1200s or whatever size bike they are.
Well, that's amazing in this small confined space, what they're doing.
They all know what they're doing and where they're going.
Wow.
And you can see, look at the amount of space necessary to coordinate these routines.
It seems like maybe, oh boy, a city block, 2 city blocks that they're taking up. It's hard to tell exactly how many bikes are involved in this at this point, but boy, quite a few.
Sure. Welcome everyone who is watching us on Armstrong Cable, in the Butler system, in the Zelian Opal system, in the Grove City Slippery Rock systems. Welcome. We're glad to have you with us today. A great event as we all celebrate Butler County's 200th birthday with the biggest parade ever.
We are nearly an hour into this parade now. Again, more than well over 100 units in this parade.
And we're on Unit 4.
He's just teasing, but not far from it.
Not far from it. Yeah, we're in the 20s alone.
Right.
I thought you were kidding. I just looked at my watch. It is about an hour in.
It is, sure.
Holy mackerel.
Did you bring dinner?
I Thanks to Armstrong Cable for providing food and sustenance throughout the weekend as we do the parade.
Oh, much appreciated. Look at this. I can't even ride my bicycle that
I would just
accurately.
think, I'm not sure I could walk through that routine.
Very nice. The crowd loves it.
I'm Scott Lowe, along with Lisa Beatty with the Bicentennial Parade. Again, glad to have you along with us. We can see some of the other parade entrants way down the parade routes. There is an awful lot of parade yet to come. We have only begun.
We have. There we can see the crowds. You can see behind us right now the huge crowds watching this. And again, we are in the 20s right now, so we've seen quite a few, but we have quite a few more to go.
Right. It's an incredible amount of effort, and you can get a sense just by sitting at home in your comfortable lounge chair watching the Bicentennial Parade as everyone else is working hard and sweating out here, but just in order to allow you to stay home and enjoy the parade. But you can just imagine all of the work and effort that went into putting all of these floats and just putting the parade together.
Sure, and being here certainly is no chore. We're certainly enjoying ourselves.
Yeah.
We have a great view here.
I'm thinking of Bill Culley, who is the parade chairman, and how happy he must be that the parade is off and running without a glitch. Well, let me say that, Bill, at this end without a glitch. At the beginning, I'm not sure if there were any glitches or not, but it certainly doesn't appear as though.
No, not at all. Things are running very, very smoothly. The motorcycles, let's see what we have coming up.
I'm not sure if we got a chance to thank everyone else. There were a couple of people we left. Let me just mention Guy and Bonnie Travaglio, State Representative Guy Travaglio and Bonnie, Marion Tritch and Clyde Tritch, good folks, Dave Barag, Ed Wadding, Corky Whiteacre, Andy Eric Sr., and Steve Savacki, the man with all the flags. Over 30 people on that committee just to put the parade on today. And I don't know, folks, if you've ever thought about what it takes to put the parade on, but just think for a moment, getting all the people in the parade, making sure that they know everything they need to know to make sure that they're there on time, in
where
order.
Where they need to be, right.
Right. And just all the safety concerns. Again, we mentioned earlier, Police Chief Gary Garman, and he had his own staff of people to ensure the safety for everyone here at the parade along the parade route. Parking, you can just imagine.
Boy, the parking, there were shuttles that were able to come and drop people off, made things a lot easier. That was all planned.
Estimates of 100,000 people. Now just think, if you had to plan an event and you had to bring 100,000 people in, where would you put them? Well, that was Gary Garman's job and Linda Harvey's job and Bill Culley's job and all of the folks involved. So just the coordination of the entire event, an incredible task, but a job well done. Congratulations.
Now, if you just tuned in, again, welcome to the Butler Bicentennial Parade, a huge event, 16 months in the planning.
It seems like it just started, though. You said we're an hour in already.
It's flying by. It's just terrific.
It's incredible, the amount of activities and things that are going on here.
Sure. There are expected to be about 130,000 people or so along the route itself, plus, of course, the folks at home, like you, watching this. It's just an amazing amount of people taking part in this.
Right. By the way, we should point out, and again, something to write down in that pad of paper you have standing by, while many of you may be watching our parade live, we wanted to let you know that in the Butler system, there will be replays of the parade on Channel 10 on Tuesday and Thursday coming up at 1 o'clock both days. Tuesday at 1, Thursday at 1 o'clock, August 29th and 31st. Also in the Zealy and Opal system on Channel 50 on SVTV. Channel 50, it's being broadcast live today, but it will be replayed September 2nd at 7. In fact, all the replay times will be at 7 o'clock. But it'll be Saturday, September 2nd, Sunday, September 3rd, Saturday, September 9th, and Sunday, September 10th, all at 7 o'clock. And if you're in the Grove City Slippery Rock system, you'll be watching the parade on Channel 19, Wednesday at 8:30 at 7 o'clock, Thursday, August 31st at 7 o'clock, and Friday, September 1st at 7 o'clock. So many opportunities to catch the parade again.
A lot of times that's going to be replayed, but if you don't catch it, if you're not able to catch it, or if you did catch it and you want to see it again, there are also going to be videotapes on sale.
Absolutely. You might want that for a keepsake item to pass along to the grandkids as they get older, but they're available for just $20 at the Butler County Chamber of Commerce. I suggest you get your orders in as early as you possibly can. $20 for a piece of history here today.
It's a great keepsake, like you said, for children who may be down here but only 3 or 4 years old who won't remember this. It'll be great, something they can have forever.
Beautiful old cars, antique cars, a big part of the Bicentennial Parade. You're still seeing, as you notice, part of the Syria Moss Motor Corps. And coming up in just a minute, we're going to see the Penn Elementary School. Let me run down at least the list of people involved in the broadcast today. Under the leadership of Tom Graham, who is under tight control here, maintaining absolute control of the parade. Tom Graham, assistant producer Jessica Kendlick, technical director Mike Kendlick, audio Steve Graham. Camera 1 is Jeff Corey. Camera 2, Pat Gallagher on camera 2. Camera 3, Jim Cook. Camera 4, Kirsten Uhas. Floor director is Jennifer Faust. Our first line producer, Kim Faust. Our second line producer, some guy named Judd Stewart. And your host, Scott Lowe, along with Lisa Beatty. A big crew today, Lisa.
A lot of people doing a lot of work here today, boy. Let's see what we're seeing now. There we go.
Shriners play so the kids can. That's a great line. I like that.
That is. Still part of the Syria Temple.
And they've got their brass band on board. The first hour of the parade brought to you by the Syria Temple. Smoky smokes.
Yeah, they sure do have a lot of people taking part in this parade today.
Yeah.
We have the Syria Temple brass band there now.
Well, this is why when the discussions in the early days of what the big Bicentennial Parade was going to be all about, the discussion really was left wide open. Let's involve whomever would like to be involved. And that is why there's a 4-hour parade today.
A lot of people certainly took them up on that. It's great. People came from all over, not just from Butler County. Let's see what we have coming up here.
Oh, this is the... I lost my place suddenly.
I believe this is the
Penn
Shriner.
Elementary? Is this the...
I think.
Oh, that's
not
the Saxony
quite to
Shrine
that.
Club.
There we go, Saxony Shrine Club. That's an interesting float. Look at that, the Brooklyn Bridge. We have right here in Butler.
There it is, right there.
Tribute to John A. Robin's Brooklyn Bridge.
Wonderful job with that bridge, isn't it?
It is. It's a beautiful bridge to begin with. It's a great replica.
Going to be permanently in place in Saxonburg, on display in Roebling Park in Saxonburg. Great job there. and a great tribute.
Here we go. Here's Penn Elementary School. These kids have been waiting for a little while. They're all
Right.
excited.
Their theme, Penn School Through the Years, 1928 to 2000.
On the float, Kathy Narante, Christy Love, both attended Penn Elementary School. They're now both teachers at Penn.
Staff also from the school, under the direction of the float coordinators Tom Tibbett and Jeanette Adams. Nicely done there.
The school has been around since 1928.
Amazing. Now, I didn't ask anybody. I don't think there's any judging of the floats today.
I don't believe so.
But can you imagine if there was?
Oh, it'd be tough. It would be almost impossible.
Everybody wins, that's all.
That's right. There we go. There's a nice close-up of the Penn Elementary School float.
Some staff from the school walking beside the float there. Nicely done.
Very nice.
Welcome to Evans City, the city of black and gold, and they don't mean the Steelers. The city of black and gold. They have the truck oil derrick welcoming people to Evans City. And do you know, there's a little trivia quiz for people watching.
Okay.
The original name of Evans City was what? Back in the oil boom days, Evans City was known as what?
Well, you've stumped me, Scott.
It was called Evansburg.
Yeah.
Evansburg, back in the oil boom days. Today, as we celebrate the Bicentennial, as we all know, known as Evans City.
There we have the Citizens National Bank float. That is, their theme is banking, past and present.
Citizens Bank, 1878 the bank was founded. The only way banking was done in the early days, just in the front window. Today, a lot of people do their banking through the ATMs.
Sure
Started
have
the Citizens Bank in the 1980s. A lot of it's changed for sure. Okay. The Irvine family operating Citizens National Bank. The Butler County Federated Library System and their float. Libraries then and now. Butler County Library Federated System, the Butler County Federated Library System comprised of all the Butler public libraries throughout the county.
And their float depicts two scenes at a library in the year 1894. And that was the founding year of the Butler Area Public Library. And that was the first library in Butler County, so a lot of history for that.
Sons of the Union, veterans of the Civil War, John T. Crawford, Corps 43, son of Union veterans of the Civil War out of Katanning. Company H of the 78th Regiment was recruited from Butler County. This group compiles a list of all the Civil War graves in the area. They've erected over 100 new headstones on Civil War soldiers' graves throughout western Pennsylvania. And they're available for speaking engagements. They go to local schools talking about the Civil War, and you can visit them online as well. Get that pad of paper ready. Crawford Camp 43pa.tr.eod.com. Any information that you don't get in today's parade, you can get from the Chamber of Commerce as well.
Very fascinating era, too. It's nice they go around and talk about that. And I bet those ladies in those costumes are glad the temperature's a little low, too.
That's right. Another elementary school is with us, Center Avenue School, Reading Through Time. I think the Center Avenue School known for the children and the amount of books that they read. It took Lisa a year to plan, design, and create this float for Center Avenue School.
Amazing.
They have 6 book themes on this float. It took a lot of planning. The book themes, Tom Sawyer from 1876, The Wizard of Oz, 1900, Little House on the Prairie, 1935, not the TV show, the book, Charlotte's Web, 1952, Cat in the Hat, 1957, and Clifford, 1963. The students there in the float dressed in book jackets made by their classmates.
Certainly books that everybody knows. A lot of the children who are standing along the parade route will certainly recognize a lot of these characters.
Sure. And I told you about how many books that the Center Avenue kids read. Over 25,000 books the Center Avenue students read last year.
Amazing.
25,000 books.
Wow. Very well-read students
Absolutely.
at that school.
Greatly so. Good job. They've even got the truck pulling the...
Is that papered with
I'm not sure what it's
pages?
It looks like coloring pages.
Coloring books that
Yeah.
the kids did. The rainbow, the pot of gold, represents the wealth of knowledge found at the end of the reading rainbow. That's how they came up with their float design. You can see the pot of
Good
gold
job.
up on the front. Here we go.
Well, the community hospital's here. Butler Memorial Hospital. Serving Butler for more than 100 years. A big part of our local history and present day. Nice float. Again with an historical theme. Good job.
Very nice. Some great old pictures on the float. Showing how things were and how things are.
All you young people watching today, see how much of this parade you can remember. So as you grow up, you can tell all of your children and grandchildren what the county's Bicentennial Parade was like.
Again, if you are just tuning in, we are broadcasting live the 2000 Butler Bicentennial Parade, brought to you by Armstrong Cable.
75 members of the East Butler Sparks 2000, past and present, are up here next.
If you folks at home could see our pages that we're leafing through, we have a lot of
It's amazing.
units in here today. Just amazing.
Members marching today have marched, many of them, been marching since the early 1970s.
I
Some
remember
of them
seeing
today.
them growing up.
Yeah,
Sure. Yep.
East Butler Sparks. Band director Mary Augustine does a beautiful job with the drum and bugle corps.
Very nice.
Started in 1967.
Take a listen for a minute. Nice job, nicely done. You can see all the people along the parade route.
Just in this one section of the parade route,
Right.
in front of the VA Medical Center.
Boy, and truly the sea of faces just goes on forever.
Each way.
Each way.
Each
From-
way.
As far as we can see from our vantage point, we are atop Chi-Chi's here on Newcastle Road.
A pair of fire trucks heading our way from Meridian. Meridian was in the Sesquicentennial Parade in 1950, followed by Lindora's ladder truck. These firemen and women always like to be in the parades. They're big
Boy, you
favorites
know.
of the young people.
They are, and they do so much hard and good work. It's nice that they can be appreciated like this
Absolutely.
in public. It's nice, you know, the fluorescent trucks seem
Yes,
to be
yeah.
very in right now. It's kind of a-
Pennsylvania Army National Guard, the Butler units, standing by and ready for any need as they go along the parade route, doing
There
some
we
of their
go.
routines for the crowd. Under the leadership of Captain Mark Rayberg, who is the commander, First Lieutenant George Kelly, executive officer, First Sergeant Robert Brown, also First Sergeant.
Seems almost like they're making a formation. They're actually taking up quite a stretch of the road.
Yes,
See
they
if they're
are. You
going
get a long
to-
shot down, but it. Hear the applause as they walk by. People appreciating what they do for
Oh, sure.
our country and our county, our
Yeah.
state,
They are
being
in
there when
full-
called upon.
Right. Yes, and they are certainly in their full gear today.
And you look at that, folks. let's call it 90 degrees outside and humid, these men and women are in full attire.
In August.
In August. Heavy gear. Thank you. We have a couple of big units coming up, but
You're still looking at the Pennsylvania Army National Guard, the Butler unit. Quite a few vehicles in the parade as well.
they also participated in the Bicentennial parade in 1950.
A lot of tradition in this area.
Sure.
And you're seeing an overview from one of our cameras up high.
Big truck. They had this, one of the trucks coming in behind that gentleman there was out at the farm show recently, putting on demonstrations. It's a big trailer truck, back tilting up and down. So a lot of people enjoying that activity, and the guard was there to explain how that works.
You can see, well, we just changed camera angles, but you can see to the right of your screen, there's the crowds in front of the VA hospital on Newcastle Road. That's quite a truck.
Big truck, sure is.
I've never seen one that looks quite like that. I'm thinking I should have worn my sunscreen, Scott.
Yes, it is getting hot out here. Coming up next is the Flames, Flickers, and Flints
Marching band.
marching band unit in their traditional red and white costumes.
We have the majorettes toward the front. It's always amazing to see the majorettes, the girls with the batons.
Yeah. Well, as much as they enjoy being in the parade, you have to think about them walking a mile and a half, 2 miles down the routes in this hot weather.
Right, and remembering their routine, too.
That's right. But you know what? They're still smiling.
They
That's
are.
great.
They're having fun.
They know where they are and what their job is.
We do.
From New Wilmington, Flickers Juniors, the Flames, Flickers, and Flints. Just 16 miles up the road on Route 38 come the Flames and Flickers Majorette Corps in North Washington, Butler County. And the crowd loves them.
Look at the little
Oh,
ones
look,
in the
cuties,
back.
yeah, right?
They are cute. Getting a jump on it. Good job.
Lost again. Well, I don't know if you can see these golf carts in the background zipping back and forth. The parade committee is ushering people to and fro, getting them where they need to be, keeping track of those in the parade and who gets off, who keeps going. Oh my gosh. Look at that routine.
I have to say, I'm glad we're up here. We kind of have it easy, don't we?
That's right. That's right.
There are the little ones doing a great job.
crowd is very appreciative. You can hear them as the bands go by and the floats go by.
That looks like the tail end of the flames, flickers, and flips.
Well, from West Sunbury, also north of Butler County, in Butler County, what life is like. They call it country life. Of course, there are Coke machines everywhere these days. This is Cub Scout Pack 37.
There we go. And looks
Beautiful.
like that is actually the next float. We're sort of getting two in one here. This is actually what you're looking at now, the Freedman's Butler Bilo supermarkets.
They brought in the
they're
entire
hungry.
produce aisle.
They have.
There you go. Hi, folks.
Boy, it does make you want to eat.
That's right, the freshest fruits available. Dave Crater, one of the float coordinators. Good job, David, along with Katie Davis.
This float that you're, well, let's see, let's go back to the other, I'll go back to the other float. This is the Country Life in West Sunbury float that we are seeing now, a close-up.
Oh, there they are.
And the significance of this float is that farming is a big part of West Sunbury families. And there you see whole families.
Look at all the people that helped.
Lots of people. Cub Scout Pack 37 taking part.
That's the Freedman's float there you saw behind the big tractor truck.
Now you're looking at the Butler County Sheriff's Posse.
I wonder if Sheriff Denny Rickard is atop one of the horses. We'll see.
That's a good question.
Over here.
You can tell from here. This actually originated 30 years ago, has approximately 40 members, the captain, Kent Shoemaker. And the horses that you're seeing, these beautiful horses, they're owned by individuals, not the Sheriff's Department. They're individuals' horses taking part in this.
Quite a posse.
Yes, it is.
These are the guys they send out after you. If you're on the run,
These are why you want to stay on the right side of the law.
these guys are going to track you down.
Doing a fine job. The beautiful horses. Just keeping time. Again, this is the Butler County Sheriff's Posse that you're looking at.
Bicentennial Parade began 9:30, August 26th, year 2000. We expect to be done just in time for the Christmas holiday.
I know you say that as a joke, but you're not too far. Hush.
It's amazing, though. What
It is.
an incredible presentation today.
It's definitely a big part of our area's history is being
Absolutely.
represented today.
Once again, congratulations to all those folks. Whether you're putting your float together, whether you're parking cars, you're shuffling people back and forth along the parade route.
Look at all of the people along the route right now.
We're doing the broadcast today from Armstrong Cable. Thank you on behalf of everyone as we celebrate Butler County's bicentennial year.
We'll let you have a listen now to the Mars Area High School Marching Band.
Good job, everyone, along the parade route. The parade is going along nicely. We have a lot yet to come.
Oh boy, we've only had about 35, 36 groups so far.
Yeah.
So we're about a quarter of the way there.
Thanks to Armstrong Cable, everyone under the direction and leadership of Tom Graham, Jim Cook, Judge Stewart, and all the folks. And we'll have a list at the end of the parade. Please pay attention to all those folks and give them a personal thank you for bringing you the parade live on Cable Channel 10 in all the systems in Butler, Zelienople, Slippery Rock, and also on the internet, live on www.avenueu.com. It's an exciting thing when people found out on the committee that the parade is going to be broadcast on the internet. Suddenly that just changed things for them. Suddenly we're worldwide.
Now we're big.
It's big time.
We are. This is big time. Very
Incredible.
exciting.
It's, the kids all enjoy it. All the kids are here
As you
today.
can see.
Yeah. Next in line, we have the Revelation Riders, celebrating 200 years of evangelism on Butler County roads. These folks take trips, chapter of the Christian Motorcyclists Association, celebrating its first year in Butler in the year 2001. They have a lighthouse on their float coming. There it is right there, which is over 12 feet tall. Represents the light of Jesus Christ, which has been carried to thousands in and around Butler County for over 200 years. They do nice work.
There we go.
Lisa, I'm going to regret sitting here in the sun. Tomorrow I'll be whining about it.
I know. I'm looking down saying I really should have worn sunscreen today, but that's okay. A few more freckles.
But I'm not complaining.
That's right. We're out in the beautiful outdoors. This wonderful, wonderful event.
Giving the lighthouse a little extra push there.
Again, those are the Revelation Riders. Revelation. That was. That was a nice shot.
Pittsburgh and Butler Railway Company from the Valencia Area Historical Society. There it is, look at that.
Very
Representing
nice.
the last trolley that traveled between Butler and Valencia. That was the last trolley that ran the rails.
Pittsburgh Short Lines, it says on it. Butler, Pittsburgh and Butler Railway Company.
You notice the turning wheels, the bell, even the number 111, which was the last car. The short line existed from 1905 to 1931. And you see the big K for the local Kiwanis Club. Back in the 1930s and 40s, that was the way you got around. Hop the trolley.
You can see some of the crowds in front of the VA hospital behind us.
No one's left.
So yeah, nobody's left.
We're still here. We're glad you're along for the big Bicentennial Parade here on Armstrong Cable. And there's just, again, we keep reiterating this, but the excitement and enthusiasm, all the smiles, people are so happy that the parade is here and now.
They are. This is a big family outing, it seems.
It really
People
is.
coming with coolers
That's
and
right.
all sorts of things today.
It's great.
Let's see what we're looking at now. There's an overview of how many people are in front of the VA hospital.
We see up and coming here the Katanning Firemen's Band. They won first place many times in state competition. This is one great band.
Wow, they must be. We'll have to See what they have to play for us here.
They usually take first in their Firemen's Western Convention. They were here back in the Bicentennial. Let's listen.
Again, that was the Katanning Firemen's Band, about 35 members. Kevin Gibbons, that is the band director.
Good job. There's a nice little, what they used to call a horseless carriage. Joe Neff's units from Shikora.
And what the children used to look like. Dressed in their period clothes.
That's right. That was built in 1908.
Let's see what we're looking at here.
The Mars National Bank.
I believe that's it. With my favorite, the ATM machine. Can't live without it.
Float coordinators Linda Lees and Peggy Schuler help put the float together as Mars National Bank celebrates their 100th anniversary this year. They're half as old as Butler County.
It looks like they entered in the Mars Homecoming July 4th Parade. They won 2 awards. They were the best decorated business float, and they also won the Mayor's Award.
Nicely done.
So, yeah.
Happy birthday, Mars National Bank. Mercer Road, Engine 6 from Butler Township is with us, and along with South Butler. Fire trucks, all spiffed up. The rescue number 7
nice
unit.
shot.
Yeah.
Very nice. It's great to see these fellows who work so hard and generally don't get a lot of thanks for what they do.
That's right. But they're here today, and that's a great way to thank them, give them a nice round of applause as they drive by. Whoa, Nellie.
Oh, whoa, what is this? Oh, this must be the Butler County Republican Committee.
There you go. Jim Bird, your elephant looks just fine.
It looks like in 1909, the political leaders joined the nation in commemorating the 100th anniversary of Abe Lincoln's birthday. And incidentally, a piece of trivia, the first Lincoln penny was also introduced that year. That was 1909.
Tri-County Sabres are up, about 30 members of this group, in their 8th year of entertaining people throughout the tri-state area. The girls all dressed up today, range in age from 5 to 16. And look where they're going next year. They're going to SeaWorld and Six Flags.
I had to look.
Beautiful.
How exciting. It's nice that a lot of the younger kids, you mentioned age ranges 5 to 16. It's great a lot of these young kids can really take part in this historic event.
It's very exciting for them too. And you know, I don't know how much parents have been talking to their children if they're in the parade, but to let them know how important this is, how more important it'll be as they get older.
Right,
that
exactly.
They participated as you were. Remember when you were 5 years old, you were in the big Bicentennial Parade, the biggest parade ever.
It's amazing.
It's exciting. It's
yeah.
great
to
history.
them, it's probably another parade at age 5.
That's right. It's nothing now.
They don't realize.
That's absolutely right. Right. But it's really amazing that that this is, you're making your own history today.
It is. We've actually seen almost 50 groups at this point. So we're moving right along. That's 50 out of about 130.
300 and how many?
He's just teasing. I hope. About 130 some. So beautiful day to be out here. Just lovely.
Sure is.
Is this the Shikora Medical Center? Yes, it is.
Now and then. Or then and now. I don't know how they have it on the now and then.
Now and then. There you go.
Shikora Medical Center.
The facility king, Joe Spano, and Queen Alma Kilkin. I hope I said that right.
Yeah.
They're riding in the very center of the float. And the horse and sulky represent the old Shikora Fairgrounds and the horse racing that was held there, including the world-famous Star Pointer.
Amazing.
And actually, now this is interesting. The first horse to run a mile in under 2 minutes
Wow.
was there. That's
Remember, that was
amazing.
Star Pointer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. You're oh, good memory. Yeah.
Amazing. Pittsburgh Harmony Butler. Harmony short line. There was a Harmony line trolley right there.
Looks like it.
The world of children performing sign language to music. And everybody knows this song. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony.
Very nice. I sure remember that one.
It's their most popular song in Harmony, Pennsylvania. Paul and Karen McDowell did a great job with the Harmony line trolley there.
Let's see what we have here. Altmeier's Western Wear.
We have a horse-drawn carriage delivering, what could they possibly be delivering? Let me think. A big load of boots. Of course they would.
I could use a spare pair.
Wagon pulled by a team of Hallfinger. Is that what they call them? Hallfingers. Hallfinger. Ages
Looks
9
like it.
and
Hallfinger,
10.
yeah. This is from Misty Morn Farm.
All right, folks.
Oh, this is great. The names of the horses, can you guess? Garth and Brooks.
Perfect. There you go. They mentioned the sidekick is Morgan Slater. I wonder if that's him right there. One of the more important jobs on the parade routes. If that is you, Morgan, everyone along the parade route thanks you.
Doing a fine job.
Yes. We talked with Dr. Smith at the top of the broadcast today about Slippery Rock University's entrance. Slippery Rock University started in 1889. And you see on their float there, that's Old Main.
Now, I didn't know the university was that old.
It has been around for a
A
while,
lot of
yes.
history.
That's the big landmark shot. You take a look at that. That's what you think of at Slippery Rock University.
Right, driving up there. Sure.
By the way, the float was built by the student employees of the SGA bookstore.
The students there apparently have been building award-winning floats for Slippery Rock University's homecoming parade
Right.
for the past 5 years, so good job.
Following the Slippery Rock University float is the Slippery Rock University Marching Rockets. Give a listen. Good job.
Very nice. Slippery Rock University.
Well, the band is making Dr. Smith proud today. Very nice job.
They sure are. Right in sync, too.
This is the American Legion from Butler County, I believe.
Yes. You see that logo, that famous logo on the side?
And you see all of the posts there throughout Butler County and representatives.
Great organization, something my grandmother Christy was involved with for many, many years. Just remember telling me about the good things they do.
Everybody's happy to be along for the ride, enjoying the crowds here, the crowd enjoying all of the participants in the parade.
Very nice, with all the flags.
Folks, you're right in the midst of a big part of the history of Butler County right now. The Lions Clubs of Butler County, over 77 years of service. Jim Hobson, Bob Barron, float coordinators. The Petrolia Lions Clowns are on deck. Over 77 years of service. The Butler County Lions Clubs.
Here we go. You're now looking at the Salvation Army float. This is the past, present, and future. The past is represented by the founder, General William and Catherine Booth, and today portrayed by the Butler Salvation Army pastors, Major Paul and Virginia Downing.
Some great kids along for the ride there, too. Can you imagine being asked if you'd like to be on a float as a kid? Ride through this parade?
I don't remember ever doing that when I was a small child.
Me neither. Me neither.
How exciting. Of course, it wasn't so bad standing alongside and having candy thrown at you.
That's right. That's right.
Certainly a famous logo there, a group that does so much good
Sure.
for so many people, Salvation Army.
Sure. The Cranberry Township Historical Society we saw there a minute ago.
There we go. This is the float theme is a trip to the courthouse in a 1914 Ford Runabout.
Wow.
Nice car to go cruising in.
Well, we have coming up next, this is a favorite too, the Greater Kensington String Band, known as GKSB. Band, a charter member of the Philadelphia Mummers String Band Association.
So you know it is going to be wild.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Look at these costumes.
They were organized in 1946. They marched in the famous New Year's Day Mummers Parade in 1948. And 3 years ago marked the band's 50th consecutive appearance in the spectacular Philadelphia Parade. And we're glad to have them here for the spectacular Bicentennial Parade.
In case you're wondering what they're wearing, which I am, it says the band is wearing a suit from the year 2000 presentation, The Lilt of the Irish. So if you're seeing a lot of green, that's why. Fabulous costumes.
Sure.
These fellas must have fun.
I think a lot of these guys live for this, just performing in front of great crowds.
Especially those fellas. They're
That's right.
definitely extroverts.
That's right. And you know, they're all going to go home and say, you should have seen the Butler Parade.
Absolutely. Let's see what we are looking at now. Looks like the Herman Volunteer Fire Company.
Herman and
Let's see who's up front.
Penn Township. It's behind. Penn Township is right behind Herman.
Okay. Again, some more volunteer fire departments.
Well, here on behalf of the Butler County-wide 4-H Dairy Club, chugging along for Got Milk.
One of the best ads in recent years,
Sure,
too. By the way.
absolutely. Barbara Rader and 4-H club members and parents put the very special float together. They have 6 different dairy breeds represented by 4-Hers. The Holstein, the Jersey, the Rassau and Ayrshire, Brown Swiss, and Guernsey. Oh, and one more, the Milking Shorthorn.
There we go. That's great.
How cute are they?
What an interesting float. Look at, oh, look at the kids in the back. Having a great time. The Countywide Dairy Club averages about 40 members a year, and they want to make sure that you have got milk in your diet.
Butler Rotary Clubs are up next. Both clubs are represented here, the morning club and the evening club. They've been serving Butler County since 1920, the same year as the very first radio broadcast out of Pittsburgh. 1932 Model A Ford.
There's some history there.
Absolutely. Nicely done.
The balloons on that float, by the way, indicate different local and worldwide charities sponsored by the Butler Rotary Clubs.
Here's an interesting float. Blair T. Grube Antiques and Woodworking. A 1914 T.W. Phillips 20 horsepower natural gas oil field engine. And an 1896 reproduction of F.J. Barnes Company pedal jigsaw. Blair Grube, owner and operator and woodworker. We also have the GFWC, the Federation of Women's Clubs.
I think right now we're actually looking at the end of the 4-H. And there we go. There's the one that you were just...
It says they've raised nearly $100,000 each year in their local charity work.
Good job. Wow.
Good job. It started back in 1928.
You're looking at the Butler County Community College Pioneers right now. And no,
actually,
you're not.
The 4-H. The 4-H Livestock Club. They have different 4-H projects this year. Butler, Beaver, Lawrence County, Wool Queen, Sharon, Ankrum.
And now we're back on the Butler County Community College Pioneers. The wagon is the college's first logo still today for the basketball and volleyball teams, still being used.
Absolutely. Great things happening at Butler County Community College. And appropriate, their name, the Pioneers. Glad to be aboard the Bicentennial Parade.
And it appears the Butler County Community College was founded in 1965.
Connoquenessing fire truck just went by. There she is.
To see what's coming down the road here.
This looks like Slippery Rock.
Oh, this, sure. I believe, yes, it looks like the Slippery Rock Area High School Rocket Marching Band.
129 in all. Under the direction of Jerry Maxwell, the Rockets entertaining us as the Bicentennial Parade moves along here on Armstrong Cable. Glad to have you along. Let's listen.
North Carolina, And out of 3 possible categories, they took 2 first-place trophies. So
Congratulations. Excellent job. Prospect Borough Volunteer Fire Department.
Again, you can see the crowds lined up all along the route from, gosh, I don't know how far.
Center Township Unionville Fire Department also heading up.
Now, who is this that we're looking at? Let's see. Butler County. Let's see.
Now here's a
The
nice
Arts?
float. The Butler Arts Council. They're here, just not on our list of who's going to be.
They aren't, but what an incredible float. Yeah.
Celebrating 200 years in Butler County.
The Butler
Butler Little
Arts
Theater,
Council.
Musical Theater Guild, Signal Donna, Blazing Star, Choral Society, Butler County Symphony, Associated Artists, Notables, Barbershop Chorus.
Lots of good work. And it's so nice that we have that in Butler. We don't have to travel to see some of
That's
that.
right, exactly right.
It's terrific.
Exactly right.
To keep it going.
Everybody's heading into the new millennium.
The Paul Lawrence Dunbar Community Center we saw just go by.
Hunter's Truck Sales has an entry in today's parade. Moving into the millennium. Very nice.
It goes with the gut milk.
That's right. Fourth generation of the Hunter family at work today. Hunter's Truck Sales and Service, largest medium and heavy full service dealer in the state of Pennsylvania.
I'm learning so much about the different companies and groups in our area
It's
today.
amazing. Since 1927. And right behind is a 2001 Peterbilt driven by Tom Horn. If you're a truck fan, you
Those
love
are the
that
kind
beast
of-
right there.
Look at the nice shiny red. Those are the kind of trucks that make little kids want to drive.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
A moving experience, absolutely.
That was bad.
We've got some candy being distributed along the way.
Too bad they can't toss all the way up here.
Yeah.
Look at the pay. I don't know if you can see. I guess we can't see it at this moment. They're throwing from little
Little Austin.
cow pails.
Yeah.
There we go, little Austin.
That must be fun.
Some kids in the cars. Just an incredible time. If you were just tuning in again, we are here for the 2000 Butler Bicentennial Parade.
Getting some of our sunscreen in place.
We may be a little too late, though, I'm thinking.
Right. But still, it's still, the parade is well underway. There's a lot more to see, and the smiles are still here. We're glad that you're along for the ride today on our special broadcast on Armstrong Cable, the Bicentennial Parade. For all those on the committee, all those planners, all those float builders, it is here. It seemed so far off not long ago, but it is finally here.
It seemed far off because folks who have been working on this have been doing so for 16 months, almost a year and a half. So.
Really.
Boy.
People came here early yesterday to set up for the parade, to make sure they got the best seat in the house, just to be ready for the Bicentennial Parade. People have been talking about it for so long, and it's here today, and they're just enjoying it. Enthusiasm is high, and everybody's done such a great job in getting all the floats together. It's a wonderful parade.
They have. And the nice thing is the best seat in the house is really right at home in your own recliner.
Absolutely.
We're back on the parade route here.
There's actually somebody walking his dog along the parade route, which is hard to believe. Finding time to walk the dog
That's
right
right.
down there. It's amazing. We've got the Seneca Valley Band coming up. We've got the Butler County Airport coming up, and just a lot more floats, and we haven't seen anything yet.
That's right. We're actually a little more than halfway through at this point. So you've missed you've missed about 70 different items if you are just tuning in. And if you are, we are going to be rebroadcasting this. We'll give you those times a little bit later. And we're also, the tape can be sold, or can be bought rather, pardon me, for just $20. It is being sold.
Absolutely.
Pick that up at the Chamber of Commerce building.
Absolutely. And if you're just tuning in to watch On Location, it ain't on today. Instead, of course, the parade. We're glad you've joined us. Seneca Valley Raider Band is here from Harmony, Pennsylvania. They love appearing and performing all over Western Pennsylvania.
They are looking good. Nice overview. Some of these camera angles are just terrific.
Perfect.
See all the people lined up along the side. Doesn't seem like people are leaving. It seems like more people are coming.
Right. If they can find a parking space, they're here. And we welcome you if you're joining us on the internet. www.avenueu.com. Welcome. First parade in Butler County to be broadcast worldwide.
That's right. I was just telling some friends in California the other day about this, and they're going to try to get up early enough on the West Coast to tune in.
That's right.
On the webcast.
I have family up in Western New York. I have sister Sherry, my brother Stuart. Hiya, how you doing?
They're watching?
Watching on
Great.
the internet. My dad, stepmom are down here, actually. They heard about the parade.
And they came for the parade?
Came to Butler to watch the parade. So
Fabulous.
they're watching on television. So we're glad to have you down here.
Sure. I'd love to know the farthest somebody came to see this parade.
Yeah.
If they came home, if they'd moved away years ago and they came back for this, I would really be interested in hearing that.
That's great. Well, the Seneca Valley Raider Band. It's a long band, actually.
It is, isn't it? I've seen quite a few bands today with the metallic pom-poms. That seems to be the newer.
Glistening in the sunshine.
Yes, it's great.
I forget, how many did it say? How many bands and floats?
I believe
Here.
137.
28 bands, 54 floats, 30 fire trucks. How about that?
Oh, boy. And then, of course, a lot of cars and horses in between. That was the Seneca Marching Band, Seneca High School.
That's a big band.
That was a huge band. We were just talking about their beautiful new high school.
Good job.
Very nice.
Butler County Airport is up next, following Seneca Valley.
Oh, getting a beautiful breeze up here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Great day for this.
Just to let you know, Sandy, I did put sunscreen on. It's
You got the warning this morning, right? And again, on the way down the street, Butler County Airport. Been around since 1929.
banner you saw there is carried by the Harper triplets, Merrick, Ashley, and Alexandra. A nice float there too.
The children, I don't know if you can see them at this point, they were wearing NASA spacesuits. They attended a special NASA space camp. I guess that's a child's dream.
Yeah, yeah.
Some John Deere tractors going through. From Carl S. Gehring. One was a 1943 tractor, the other 1939. Boy, they looked in better shape than most of the new ones.
Yeah. There's an old fire truck.
We have the Cranberry Volunteer Fire Company coming up behind.
That hose cart, by the way, I believe, pulled a float in the 1950 parade, the Bicentennial parade. Saxonburg Volunteer Fire Company organized in 1931. That hose cart was one of the first pieces of equipment bought by the Saxonburg Volunteer Fire Department back in the early 1930s.
It's amazing how some of these departments have really kept this equipment looking good. And there you can see again the crowds that have lined up all along this parade route.
Volunteer Fire Department right here marching behind. There's that horse-drawn cart. Of course today not being pulled by a horse, but one of the first pieces of equipment bought when the fire department was organized 70 years ago. And I bet those guys still know how to use it.
They probably do. That's great they kept that too. So often along the years you get rid of things.
Sure.
Look at that. Look at the hose coiled up around the internal part. I bet that was tough, huh?
Yep.
Fighting fires with that back.
Absolutely. Rolling history.
There we go. More members of the Saxonburg Volunteer Fire Company.
There they are, proudly marching along, representing the Saxonburg area. Thank you, gentlemen. Coming up next, look at that, the Armstrong group of companies, the Cable Services truck.
Very nice. The theme, 200 years of communication.
Big part of the broadcast today, of course, the folks from Armstrong planning, presenting today's broadcast, guarding one of the Armstrong group of companies.
This is a great float. I don't know if you can, are we
Very
getting,
nice.
We'll have to get a shot inside of this float if we can. Showing, depicting 1800, 1900, and the year 2000.
Very nice. Armstrong providing the parade today, both on cable television and worldwide on the internet at www.avenueu.com. Very nice. Vagabonds.
From Lindora, I certainly remember seeing them in parades growing up as well.
There they are.
They've just recently been reorganized, incidentally.
There's Andy Yerrick you saw in the General Butler Vagabonds. Now the Butler Medical Center, the VA Medical Center, located right across the way.
A lot of folks taking part in this, representatives from Civil War reenactment groups, Keystone Paralyzed Veterans of America Wheelchair Olympic Team, and employees, of course, of the VA.
Very good. Celebrating 200 years of veterans.
can see the Olympic team up there.
Folks may be wondering when the VA was completed, when it first went into operation. Well, the year was 1941, and it was built and operated at first as a tuberculosis sanitarium, leased to the U.S. Army Medical Department, leased by them actually in 1942, and used during World War II, and then later established as the Veterans Administration Hospital.
And there was a float that just went by in between. I think it went by already. It was the Butler County Children's Center, and their theme was education.
The Marine Color Guard before this. There's Marion. Is that Marion? Yeah, Marion Tritch. Marion Tritch was the sesquicentennial queen. There she is. Hi, Marion.
Bicentennial queen.
There she is.
Very nice.
Marion, you haven't changed a bit. How happy she must be as the queen then, and
sure.
We'll call her the Bicentennial Queen. How's that?
Went to school with her daughter.
Did you?
Remember her from way back. Sure. Never knew she was a sesquicentennial queen, though.
Very nice. This is the Montauk Warrior Band you're listening to from West Sunbury. 97 members under the direction of Nathan Dobbinspec. The Warriors. Let's listen. Pressure. We've got to be perfect today, you know, for the big parade.
I bet there would be. Probably self-imposed, but
right.
Still. These kids were probably up at the crack of dawn this morning, too.
Sure.
Nerves, trying to get
If they got any sleep at all.
Right. Go. You're looking at the Democrats always working to better your future.
President Kennedy visited Butler County 40 years ago on the steps of the courthouse before, well, I don't remember how many thousands of people were in attendance in downtown Butler to see President Kennedy here. But it was memorable. Everybody who was there has a story to tell.
I'm gonna get my leg, I can feel it.
The size of the crowd was enormous. There's a fun group, the Keystone Squares. Organized in 1970s, a square dance club. They have 3 charter member couples still active in the group. There you go. They have a lot of fun.
That is fun. You can always tell by watching they're having such a good time. The wagon you're looking at right now is Heavenly Blue Stables. They're out of Shakura, PA. That's the Alan and Deanna Shearbaum family. It's actually a replica of a late 1800s delivery wagon.
There's Dustin up on top too, 7-year-old Dustin, and Lacey, who is 5. That's a nice wagon right there.
That is nice.
Well, out of Latrobe, Pennsylvania comes Valley Dairy's Ice Cream Joe. Hiya, Joe.
My kind of entrance.
Yeah, there you go. He's not tossing ice cream out of the car.
Wouldn't make it too far today, huh?
Would not. Beautiful.
Incidentally, Valley Dairy Restaurants, which of course we have one right here in the Butler Mall. I believe it's still here. They've been in business for over 60 years. And the one here in the mall has been here since 1972.
Beautiful.
Incidentally, if you're just joining us, we are bringing the Butler Bicentennial Parade live to you from atop Chi-Chi's on Newcastle Street.
Lisa Beatty, along with Scott Lowe, glad to have you along for the ride today as we celebrate our 200th birthday here in Butler County with a special bicentennial parade traveling on Newcastle Road in front of the VA Medical Center. And while we've seen a lot in the parade, we have much more to see.
We do.
We have the Seneca Valley Junior Football Association of Cranberry. 54 girls coming up from the Hain and Rowan Elementary School. Anita Smith and Michelle Nusser and Lisa Nusser, coordinators of this group.
For the last 2 years, the girls received a monetary appreciation award. And in addition to that award, they also received Director's Award trophy this year when they're not participating in local parade events. You can find them dancing at the Cranberry Township football field.
How cute are they?
They're
The
great.
girls would like to, by the way, give an enormous thank you, it says, to all the coaches, the helpers, the parents, Anita Smith and Michelle Nusser for working as a team and making this an absolutely awesome experience. Isn't that nice to say?
Very. Again, you are looking at the Seneca Valley Junior Football Association of Cranberry Township.
Good job. All the girls have big smiles on their faces.
They do. I bet they'll smile all the way through, too.
Well, a couple of fire trucks here from Zealy and Opal and Harmony. All nice and shiny.
I'm waiting for the good humor truck to go.
Boy.
Very nice. And there you have, look who's in the crowd. Ronald McDonald.
Holy mackerel. There he is. Hi, Ron. Well, as we are broadcasting from high atop Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurant.
We're up here in the tent.
We're up here in the tent. Hello, everybody. Glad to have you along. We want to thank all the folks at Chi-Chi's for letting us be here.
It's a great place to do this.
Excellent location. Wonderful. Good folks at Chi-Chi's. Not to mention the good food, too.
That's right.
The 2nd Marine Division Band from North Carolina, traveling up north to join us here in Butler County. 2nd Marine Division Band, the division's own, was formed from the 2nd, 6th, and 8th Marine Regiment Band during 1942. Let's listen. That was excellent. Nicely done.
That was, again, the 2nd Marine Division Band.
From Camp Lejeune. My brother Robin spent some time at Camp Lejeune, former Marine.
Yes.
And they do a wonderful job.
They
taking
do.
care of their own.
They perform all over the United States, Canada, and even Europe. So those folks get around. We're glad to have them here.
The Blue Angels have just flown in from the Air Heritage Museum and Restoration Museum over in Beaver Falls.
Look at those planes.
The Blue Angels from the U.S. Navy. We had the Marines, now we have the Navy and Air Force coming in.
To separate them all.
So you got to keep them separated.
Right.
Depicting the time and sequence of World War II, the Korean campaign, Vietnam, and our race to space. You see the shuttle there, the Shuttle Enterprise.
Oh, we're getting a little show.
Make it
Very
show.
nice.
Another one of the favorites for the young people in the audience today.
I have to say, my parents were planning on coming to the parade today, and they decided at the last minute to stay home, watch it on Armstrong Cable live. And I think right now, being so warm out here, I'm glad they did.
Good choice, Mom and Dad.
Very good choice.
Coming up next, our good buddy Newton Tack. Hi, Newton. John Tack in the Bicentennial Parade drove a team of horses pulling a hearse. Newt's back in the Bicentennial Parade. They've worked on a lot of projects throughout Butler County. Tack family since 1885, and on the back of the truck there is a soapbox derby truck from 1957.
Look at these women in their costumes. Those are just terrific. They're dressed in Union artillery attire of the Civil War era.
Very nice. Butler Area Sports Hall of Fame. Nationally known inductees. The Saul brothers.
Athletes and coaches, all inductees into the Butler Hall of Fame.
Bill Saul, Rich Saul, Ron Saul, Eddie Vargo, who was a National League umpire, Ronnie Klein from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Beverly Fry Flocky, Marty Cipher, and Coyle Lamison in our Butler County Sports Hall of Fame.
You're now looking at Knock High School Marching Band.
James Schweinberg is the director of the Knights.
And boy, they have an exciting year. Not only are they marching in our Bicentennial Parade, but they're heading down to Disney World next April.
Whoa.
They'll be playing the song Celebration. Everyone knows that one.
As they're doing today.
They look like they'd fit in Disney World with all their colors.
They do, they do. Let's listen to the Knock High School Marching Band from Saxonburg, all 153 members of the organization.
Celebration. We all remember that song. Gets the crowd going.
Harken back to the 70s.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's part of history too.
It is. It's all coming back too, you know, so sure.
There we go. Good job. The Sunset Riders motorcycle group is here. Their 50th anniversary. as a chartered club with the American Motorcyclists Association. The two main goals of this group: to promote safe and responsible riding and raising money for local charities. In organized fashion, the Sunset Riders Motorcycle Group coming down Newcastle Road. There they are, doing good work for Butler County. There's the firehouse. The firehouse promotes fire safety. Safety signs on the float say things like memorize your phone number. All right, all you youngsters out there, listen to this. Here are things you need to know. Look both ways before you cross the street. Always wear your seatbelt in the car. Know your fire escape plan. Never open the door for strangers. Always wear your helmet. Know emergency numbers for fire and police. And don't play with matches. Thanks, Rick McGivigan. Nicely done. Firehouse used to teach children the do's and don'ts with safety. There's the VNA, the Visiting Nurses Association. VNA of Western Pennsylvania, headquarters right here in Butler. Offices in Ford City, Valencia, Vandergrift. Their theme for the parade, which they're entitling Visiting Nurses Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. Under the float coordinator actions and leadership, Debbie Kaler. The float depicts a scene of one of the first visiting nurses in the late 1800s, and then shows what a home visit represents today. While not being sure of what lays out in front of tomorrow for the VNA, we'll only guess good things for the wonderful work they do for those in need at home. Well, there's one of the tall bikes again. On wheels, the William H. Davey, William J. Davey group out of Zelienople. It's a father and son team. Fathers have been riding for 30 years. The son's been riding for about 8 years, but look at that. They do so well together. It'd be fun to ride one of those. The high wheel bicycles. Original bikes from 1883. Jeff and Heather Rapp from Rapp's Bicycle Center. Thanks for being here. These are called the Top Hats Band. The Top Hats marching towards us. Marching along with some great 70s music. I Will Survive. Gloria Gaynor? Is that Gloria Gaynor? Oh boy. The memory hasn't gone completely. The Drum and Bugle, Baton Corps, the Top Hats. Coming up next, the Butler County Humane Society. Boy, they do good work. Very important organization here in Butler County. Demonstrating then and now, 1897 and the year 2000, established in 1897. The Humane Society, listen to this. Did you know that in the early days they took in homeless women, children, and animals? And as years went by, as the organization developed, their primary purpose focused on the homeless, abandoned, neglected, and abused animals. They do wonderful work there at the Humane Society, and what a nice float that is. job with the float. There he is, mascot for the Humane Society. I don't know what his name is. Let's call him Zach. Zach, the Humane Society puppy. We have a couple of fire trucks from Portersville, Muddy Creek, you saw there, followed by a unit from West Sunbury, a rescue unit. Hi there. Look at how much fun she's having. Very cute. The Hindman Transfer and Storage Company you see right there, family owned and operated since 1899. They're in their tractor trailer and horse and buggy. Buddy Hindman is the float coordinator. Company started by George Washington Hindman. That's a great name. They're in their 101st year. They've been in the moving and freight hauling business for a long, long time. The Ceramic Cottage in Butler, their theme for the float, birthday celebrations past and present, Mary Coffee and Dot DeAngelis, a colonial birthday party and a millennium birthday party with all the children having fun at the millennium party, painting ceramics. The Ceramic Cottage.
Very nice. You're now looking at Eisler Nurseries. As you can see there, they have been around since 1926. So not quite as long as Butler, but pretty close. There's Eisler Nurseries. They specialize in growing shade and ornamental trees. And their float, as you can see, they have done a lot of work on that. Just beautiful. It's the float's theme is landscaping for the new millennium. And incidentally, Eisler Nurseries also took part in the Bicentennial Parade back in 1950. And I'm sure they'll be around for the next parade. Let's see who we have here. It looks like we have Freeport. As you can see, the Freeport Marching Band. As they're coming up the road. Very nice. We'll take a listen to the Freeport Marching Band. Again, Freeport Marching Band, that's who you're watching right now. And if you just tuned in, you are looking at the Butler Bicentennial Parade being brought to you live by Armstrong Cable. Oh, now everybody recognizes this guy. This is, of course, the Maytag guy. There he is. Maytag washing machines, 100 years in the making. Believe it or not. And this is brought to you by Gold Maytag Home Appliance Center in Butler. There's the front. See if we can get the Maytag guy in the back again. He was my favorite. There we go. Gold Maytag wanted to thank the Butler community for many years of support of their business. Here we go. Looks like we have Miss Pennsylvania Jennifer Watkins joining our Butler Bicentennial Parade. The car she's riding in is a 1964 Plymouth Fury convertible. Carrying Miss Butler County again, Jennifer Watkins. The driver is Tom Costa from Eau Claire, Pennsylvania. There she is. Just beautiful. Miss Butler County, Jennifer Watkins. Miss Pennsylvania, pardon me. Miss Pennsylvania, Jennifer Watkins. Big difference there. This girl went a long way to earn that title. It looks like she deserves it. Just beautiful. And we're now looking at lows and life steps of Butler, PA. The float celebrates the spirit of the merchant who continues to give generously, as they say. From Coon's Country Store to Lowe's Improvement Warehouse, from Easter seals to life steps, they all join together to improve the quality of life for families in Butler County. You're now looking at the Butler County Dairy Promotion. This is the Dairy Tanker with Dairy Maids and the Dairy Princess. And of course, the Got Milk slogan. Back again. There are the dairy misses, maids, and princesses. Now you're looking at the Meridian Fife and Drum Corps from Butler, Pennsylvania. 25 members in this band. And they did participate 50 years ago in the Bicentennial Parade. The Fife and Drum Corps is an all-girl marching unit that started in 1943. They are proud to announce 57 years of marching. Now, some of the girls that you're looking at are carrying on a family tradition, possibly third generation of marchers. So just great. Again, we'd like to thank Armstrong Cable for bringing this to you, this live show of the 2000 Butler Bicentennial Parade. Again, celebrating 200 years. Thank you, Armstrong Cable, for bringing us this production. Back to the parade route. Let's see who we have here. Petrolia Volunteer Fire Department coming down the road. Again, more fire departments joining in this today. Gives us all a chance to say thank you and give our gratitude for the work they do. Coming up behind is the Butler American Legion Post 117. Now, this is actually the pioneer post of Butler County. Very nice. Nice float. Heading the float in the headdress in dress whites, as you can see, Colonel Gary Coon. And coming up the road now, again, as you can see there, Butler County's 4-H Livestock Club. Seems like it has been around since the year 1910, so a lot of history to add to the history of this parade. On this float, I don't know how close we can get, but on the float, hay, corn, pigs are on the float as well. They are all seen in 4-H club projects. A great group for young people. Very nice. We see kids, we see dogs. A little bit of everything here in the parade. Goats, we see goats. There we go. You can see in the bottom part of your screen. Very nice. And again, we're bringing this to you. The vantage point that you're seeing is from atop Chi-Chi's. We'd like to thank them for allowing us to actually use their rooftop, which is where we're stationed. There we go, Chi-Chi's along Newcastle Street in Butler. A great view and some great food too. Thank you, Chi-Chi's. Down the road, we see Karnes City Junior Senior High School Marching Band. It looks like they have just shy of 100 members. They have 99 members in the Karnes City Junior Senior High School Marching Band. We're taking a look at some of the people in the crowd here. Again, if you just tuned in, we're expecting about 130,000 or so people lining Newcastle Street watching this historic parade. A few facts about the parade in case you missed it at the beginning. This is the largest parade ever in Butler County. There are approximately 137 units in this parade, about 6,000 people taking part in this parade. So a lot of hard work went into this. And of course, we got a beautiful day for it. So things couldn't be better.